Yesterday, I got the idea to make this breakfast burrito right here with tater tots, chorizo, egg, cheese, salsa verde, and sour cream. And I could not be more excited to dive into this. So let's cook. Okay, so this is pretty rare for me to be making breakfast or like, I'm not a big breakfast guy, I generally skip it, but every once in a while, and it's not really breakfast, it's like 11 o'clock, but got a big workout in today. So I kind of got this idea for a tater tot breakfast burrito with chorizo, egg. So that's about, I don't know, like 10 little tater tots in there. And then those are just gonna go into the air fryer. And then we'll do everything else kind of up here for the chorizo, the eggs. And I don't know if this other video, but I made a video about kind of freezing salsa for the salsa verde I made. So we're gonna pull out some of this. And yeah, I'm excited. This is, yeah, when I eat breakfast, I want it to be really good. So this, yeah, I'm excited for this one. We're gonna do a little chorizo. And then mix it with the eggs. So this is just some loose ground Mexican style chorizo. You could just do breakfast sausage, whatever you want. You know, there's no real rules here. And then what we're gonna do is scramble some eggs in there, add some cheese, and then we're kind of gonna create that crispy crunchiness of the tater tots. And also I will say, I don't know if anyone's ever tried to make tater tots at home, not worth it to make at home. The frozen ones you can get at the store are great. So if you're ever in the mood for tater tots, like every once in a while I'll just like pick up a bag, just because tater tots are really a unique texture that I like. So yeah, if anyone else, if you're ever in the mood for tater tots, seriously, just go in the frozen section and grab them. Way easier than like trying to make your own. All right, I'm gonna bump up that heat to about a medium. And then yeah, for our other components, so I'm just gonna use one of these tortillas, and these are like one of those like lower carb tortillas. So this is actually only 110 calories. Not too bad for like a flour style tortilla. I feel like a lot of times these are almost like 200 or so. We're gonna grate some of this cheese, and I'm using Colby Jack here, but you could use whatever you wanted. Ooh. And not a ton of cheese, but just a little bit that will add to give us a little bit of that creaminess. And then I've got a little sour cream. I don't know why this is smoking so much. It's kind of weird. All right. It's also like not crumbling up as much as I would like. All right, so we got our cheese. And we'll get our eggs out of the way. I think 2 will be plenty, honestly. I don't think I need the third one. And I think that sausage is like basically cooked. I might just need to kind of chop it up a little bit. I probably won't need any salt for the eggs here just because I think this is going to be plenty salty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop up this sausage a little bit. Turn that heat down. Give these tater tots a shake. They'll probably have like 5-ish or so minutes left. All right, so we'll just kind of rough chop up the chorizo, just so it mixes in with the eggs a little bit better. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit of butter to this when I put in the eggs, but just a little amount. One little pat of butter. Bump our heat back up. All right, and then what I like to do for, I don't know, I just kind of like to do this is I'll let the eggs sit for a second, almost like you would for an omelet, and then I'll just shimmy up the pan. I feel like it creates these kind of cool little layers that I personally find really texturally interesting. So literally just like that. And then I don't know, it's just like a little slight variation. And then do that once, let it sit, and then I'll kind of fold everything in. And then I'm going to turn this heat off, add in our chorizo, add in our cheese, create a little scramble. And then that'll continue to melt up a little bit. I'm kind of going to portion it that way, I think. And then you know what we can do actually? Let that kind of steam, a little tortilla on top. Those should be ready in a second. And then here's our salsa verde. So what I'm going to do is kind of pre-break off just a little piece here that I can hopefully slide out pretty easily. And then I'll be able to just pop this back in the freezer. But a nice easy way to just get some, you know, fresh salsa back in your life after, you know, maybe make it during the summer when you have all the peppers and the cilantro and all that. And then perfect use case for something like this. Okay, so this is just going to pop back in the freezer. And I'll wipe clean our workstation a little bit. Maybe I'll give that to Hopper as a snack. And then just waiting on our tater tots here. Maybe I should have started them early. Oh no, these are good now, I think. Beautiful. Okay, so how do I want to assemble this is the question. I think what I want to do is I'm going to put a little base layer of sour cream. Then get a little bit of our salsa in here. Then hopefully this kind of holds up for our tater tots. Also, I'm questioning if this will be able to hold it. Okay. All right. Then we're going to shimmy out our, I don't want to do this, our egg chorizo mixture. And we're going to do another little drizzle of that. Another little drizzle of this too. All right. Oh. I do not have high hopes for being able to do this. Dang it. I think it's too big. All right, what we got to do yeah, just running out of real estate. All right. It's bursting out of the seams a little bit for sure. Let me slice into this. I'm going to take a quick thumbnail photo, and then I'm absolutely going to crush this thing in about 2 seconds here. Okay, let's dive in. Honestly, holding up decently well for that wrap. Let's go. That right there is exactly how I was imagining it in my head. You get the good like egg to chorizo ratio. So I feel like when you go out for breakfast tacos or like burritos or stuff, they'll typically like skimp you on the meats a little bit. But when you're making it at home, you get to control that ratio. And for me, I think 2 eggs with however much chorizo that was is like nice amount. Mix in that creaminess of the cheese, then the sour cream and the salsa verde. Just provide it with that just like unique mix of like salsa with the creaminess, a little bit of twang, and then yeah, those tater tots in there. I mean, it's just like a classic thing, you know. Instead of hash browns, it's tater tots. A little bit of potato, a little bit of crunchy in there. Just really, really good. So recipe for this guy will be up on and linked down below. As always, man, I can't wait to get into this second half. But that's gonna wrap it up for me in this one. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace, y'all.